Okay, we're live, officially live. My name is Brady Collins. I'm part of Least Be With You, and my buddy Robert DeRose here.
What's up?
How are you? So we're
Oh,
here
I'm
just
great. How are
to
you, Brady?
on our first video podcast on the relaunch of our Least Be With You website today. Um, Robert and I are just gonna quickly, or not quickly, I guess we'll take about 45 minutes or so, but we'll do our best to tell you about all the trade deadline and what the Leafs are looking to do. So obviously, most of you know today the Leafs picked up Tim Erickson off of waivers from Chicago. Good little pickup. He was drafted in the first round, 2009, by Calgary, and well, hopefully he'll be able to play at some point. And we'll see if he gets into the lineup um, this year. Obviously he will, but we'll see if
Which
the Leafs.
defenseman comes out?
That's a good question.
Is it? Is there be a trade because of this?
That's what I'm wondering. I'm thinking that because the Leafs picked him up from Chicago, I'm thinking that the Leafs are gonna let him go, or sorry, trade somebody else.
Do you have an idea? A lot of talk has been around Holzer, right? Because he's a UFA. He's also 27. Believe it or not, I thought he was younger than that.
But I
So
think that.
Erickson, pardon?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Erickson's like 3 years younger. I mean, might as well give him the playing time.
He's only played
Holzer is a
78
really
games in
dumb
the
move.
NHL total, and he's been playing. He played for Columbus. He was drafted by Calgary. He played for Columbus as well as Chicago. I think he has a total of 13 points altogether in all the 78 games. Um, younger is always better. It allows us to develop them properly.
He's the guy who refused to play for Calgary, right?
Um, I think so. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know
Okay.
that he's been around. At 23 years old, he's already been with three different teams. So, you know, I hope that he's able to come in and perform, whether it be put him in the Marlies to, develop a little bit more or throw him right into the lineup. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we want to talk some trades or some
Yeah,
rumors.
yeah. Biggest rumor coming off the press yesterday was about Bernier, and the Leafs listening to offers about Bernier. I think that it's possible that he may get traded tomorrow.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to remember who it was. May have been Darren Dreger. He said that the Leafs aren't actively shopping him, but I think that still means they're listening to offers.
There
Uh,
was talk not too long ago about him signing a 4-year extension with Toronto, but then all of a sudden, out of the blue, then they're reporting that they're listening to offers on him. Like, obviously, that goes with the scorched earth theme and all that kind of stuff about everybody's available, nobody's untouchable. But
mm,
you know, for the report to come out that they've been talking about extending him, and then all of a sudden talking about trading him, it just doesn't add up.
yeah. Well, I mean, it goes back to the whole Reimer Bernier debate, which is funny. I see people tweet today that Reimer's going to lead us into playoffs for this season. I'm guessing it was a joke, but um, Bernier may fetch us a decent return, and both goalies have similar stats this season to an extent. I don't know. It's not like Bernier's been that much better than Reimer this year. Uh, and depending on how big the rebuild is, I guess we only need one of those goalies, so you might as well ship one out now.
That's true. I agree 100%. But like the who? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Bernier will get more. We'll get more for him. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but Reimer has the better contract. Well, he will have the better contract after this year. We'll have if we keep Bernier, we'll have to re-sign him. But who knows? There's no. To
Oh,
me, I
ooh,
mean,
ooh, hold on. There's a trade. You want to hear this?
yeah.
New York trades Lee Stepniak to Winnipeg,
Oh, he's
former
been
Leaf.
This is this is the night before Leafs trade deadline day, so we're going to be reporting on whatever comes up as well.
Yeah.
Lee Stempniak, former Leaf, he's been around too many teams, I think, but he still performs.
Oh, he's part of that horrible trade with Kolyakovo and Steen. I don't want
That was terrible.
to. His whole career is just tarnished because of that. Or at least in the eyes of Leaf fans.
Yeah. But back to Bernier and Reimer. We'll find out what happens tomorrow, if anybody. Or do they trade them both if they can get good offers for both and then look to actually find a number one goalie from another team? Like, there's been rumors of Niemi being available, or, somebody else who has a number one that might be looking to change the scenery.
I seen some tweets yesterday that people were hoping that the Leafs draft a goalie with their second first-round pick. I don't know who. I haven't looked at the prospect sheets. I don't know who's the number one goalie coming. So, do you know?
I'm a little rusty. The only guys I'm interested in are the top two, which is McDavid and Eichel. That's the only people that I really have been paying attention to.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean,
oh man, that'd be amazing.
Coming closer to the draft, obviously, you learn more about the players and their where they come from and who's ranked where. But
Yeah, I mean, some people watch OHL, they watch the CHL crazily and follow. I can't do it. I can only focus on the Leafs until it's April and you have nothing better to do. Then look.
Well, I don't even get any of the channels. I see some CHL games on the Sportsnet and whatnot, but I don't see them all. And but I'm just trying to find here the draft rankings. See if I can find some information about them. But let's talk about the trades that the Leafs have already pulled up.
Okay. I think I've liked them all. I haven't had any issues with them.
I definitely agree with what they're doing. They're actually, every year it's the same stuff. They talk about shipping them out or, changing the scenery, but they just never do anything. But this year it seems that Shanahan's actually pushing Nonis to pull the trigger on some deals. Starting with the Franzen Santorelli. I'm a little upset about the Franzen thing. I like Franzen a lot.
Oh, I like Franzen too, but
to get a first round pick out of that, and in Brandon Leipzig a decent prospect.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Ole Jokinen was a throw-in, and we won't talk about that right now because that's.
Hey, he's gonna end his career with 6 Leaf games. That's amazing.
that's a whole other story, but to get that return was pretty good. If I think that if the Leafs pull off some more deals tomorrow and are able to at least have 3 first-rounders coming out of the day, I think that's it's good progress for the draft.
Yeah. Oh, and then the West is crazy, so Nashville might go out first round. Hopefully.
Well, if that's the case, then we end up with a better pick than going farther in, right?
I think it could be as far as 16th or 17th, something like that. They go out first round.
Yeah, I believe so.
That's pretty good.
But that definitely would be a better pick if they instead of them going further into the playoffs and having a 30th overall pick, which is basically a second rounder. But like I was saying, if the Leafs can have a total of 3 first round picks by the draft, it may also give them some leverage to pair a couple first rounders together or pair a first rounder with somebody else and move up to that closer to McDavid.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they said McDavid's an untradeable pick, but they also said David Clarkson was an untradeable contract. So
that's true. But you never know. Whatever the offer puts forth, that
was a crazy trade. Did not see that coming.
That Clarkson trade. No, that was a good. I'm ecstatic that they traded the contract. I liked Clarkson as a human being. And
same here.
But unfortunately, it didn't work out in Toronto, and his first year was not the best. His second year was better, but still not the best. And unfortunately, things didn't work out. But they traded him, and we got Horton back, which whatever that may be, but it's still it allows us to put him on the long-term injury reserve and save that $5.3 million.
As of right now, we have about $8 million in cap space, so that could be huge for tomorrow, making future deals, even taking some salary dumps for this season. That'll walk away as UFAs next year. I mean, possibilities are endless.
I think that's what Nonis Shanahan, whoever it may be. I think Shanahan's running the game here, but
Yeah.
I think that's what his ultimate game plan is to have that extra cap space in case we need to take on somebody else's garbage, and then grab a good pick, a second rounder, or maybe a late first rounder with the player, to allow them to trade for somebody else. Like look at Chicago; they just picked up Vermette.
Yeah.
And New York Rangers just picked up Yandel. There's a lot of movement already before the even deadline that people didn't.
That's good though, because that gives teams time to look at Bozak and Phaneuf, look at our players because they have no options now. I think, it's looking on. It's probably the whole Toronto media thing, but the media reports that like every Leafs player is on the go. Even the NHL.com sites, they had like a list of 10 players, and 5 of them were Leafs players that were going to get traded. So
realistically, in my mind, the only real, even though they said he's not untouchable, the only real untouchable in my mind should be Morgan Rielly.
Yeah, he's going to be our captain one day, hopefully.
Well, let's not go there yet because we have a captain right now, an unfortunate captain, but we have one right now, and. Let's not rush Morgan Rielly's captaincy, or else he might end up like Phaneuf again.
Yeah.
But
I got some quick facts here. We can only obtain one more retainable salary, so that's going to be important for tomorrow because I'm sure one of the trades we're going to have to retain salary. I don't know. I think it was Dreger again. It's always Dreger. Reported that
he's the only respectable one on this kind of day. So.
Yeah. The Leafs are looking. They might have to retain salary to move Olli Jokinen out. But then I don't know what that means for Lupul or Bozak. Teams who want those players are definitely going to need salary taken back, or even Phaneuf, right?
Well, Phaneuf is 100% for sure, but there may be a trade where if we traded Bozak, we could get one of their crappy, heavier contracts from the other team in order to just hold it on. You know what I mean? Like instead of having to retain salary, we could take on a crappy contract that they have.
That's true.
But with Phaneuf possibly on the go, what do you think about that? Do you think he may go tomorrow?
I'm sorry, I did not hear what you said.
Do you think Phaneuf's going to be gone tomorrow?
Oh no, I think the bigger contracts like Phaneuf or Kessel, if they're ever traded, it's going to be in the off season. It's just too difficult. And then also, if you want to make a hockey trade, right, you might not want to do it right now because if you get good players back, they might spur a win streak. You might as well wait till the off season.
That's true. Most of the time, teams overpay for players in the off season. So a trade at that time might be a better option for Leafs management.
Although
Kessel
it looks
for
like
sure.
they're over. Pardon?
I said Kessel for sure is my opinion should be an off-season trade.
Yeah.
You were going to say something about Phaneuf.
Oh yeah, a lot of the other media guys have been reporting today that the prices teams are paying for right now are really pricey, so Leafs might benefit from trading now and cashing in on the spending spree.
It seems more this year than any years in the past that a lot of teams are wanting to move assets or move big contracts, big players, all this kind of stuff. In previous years, there's been absolutely no movement up until the trade deadline, and no movement on trade deadline day until the last 3 or 4 hours. But I feel sorry for the Sportsnet and TSN guys that sit there at 8 a.m. and do nothing for 4 hours. But
hey, that's going to be us tomorrow. I'm staying home. I don't even care. Sitting there watching them.
I'm going to wake up at 8 a.m. and just sit there in front of my TV and just watch them die in their.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking about. Sorry to bring us back to this. We were talking about the whole goalie debate. I totally forgot that. I seen a tweet today, and it said that I think it was from Sportsnet. Edmonton has been scouting the Leafs for 2 weeks now, and they need a goalie. That was the tweet. So
I can see
there's something brewing.
I could see that. I could see Reimer being a good option for Edmonton, at least in the short run, because I don't know if Edmonton would want to give up the assets that we'd be asking for
Yeah.
to get Bernier for them to get Bernier from us. If we could trade Reimer for a decent pick or a decent return, like a second rounder or something like that, would allow us to get something good and also free up that contract.
What do you think Bernier's price is?
I can tell you it's a lot more than what we paid for him. I don't know why that is, because he hasn't performed any more than what he did. He hasn't performed any better. What did we trade for him? Two second rounders, and I think it was a second and a fourth.
I believe it was a second rounder, Matt Bratton, Ben Scrivens, maybe a fourth. I don't remember.
If I were the Leafs management and I would be asking, if I was going with Bernier as my number one, I'd be asking, a pick, a prospect, and that's about it.
Yeah.
That's
and then, the second round pick there that LA got from us is for this year. So that's going to be a really high second round pick for them.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have, as it sits right now, the Leafs are what? They have fourth pick?
Yes, right now.
So, after Carolina lost yesterday, they won yesterday, and we lost yesterday, that moved us down to 27th spot, giving us
Isn't tanking fun?
Huh?
Isn't tanking fun? You get to look at the standings, and the Leafs are actually doing what you want them to do for once.
Well, I don't want to endorse tanking.
Oh, I endorse tanking wholeheartedly.
But anytime the Leafs play the Habs, I'm always off any sort of tanking part, and always want them to pull out.
I actually lost a bet.
That was a bad game last night. I wasn't happy with that at all.
Yeah. I was hoping for a win, and those first two goals, one of them was really bad on Bernier, but
is Bernier number? Like, I always want to ask myself, is Bernier number one? Like, when I look at other game, like I look at some games, and I also look at other games that he's played, and I'm like, this doesn't look like a number one goaltender. There's no consistency.
Neither has Reimer, but the team hasn't looked like an NHL caliber team all season. Even though we got some big names, some big contracts, it's just been a debacle.
That way every year, doesn't it?
Yeah. But going back to the Habs-Leafs rivalry, one of my Twitter followers made a bet with me at the start of the season that Montreal would win the season series, and obviously I was game for that. And here we are 3 games later, and Leafs have 3 straight losses. So looks like I'll be buying him a case of beer, unfortunately.
Is that the last? No, we still have one more game to go, right?
Yeah, but I mean, Montreal already has 3 wins.
Yeah, of course. I'm just making.
Oh, yeah.
But that sucks. I was also speaking to a couple of my buddies and a couple of the NHL media. They were talking about the potential of us flipping Horton. Why that sounds baffling if you think about it, but however, there may be a NHL team that needs to get some cap space moved, and if they were to trade a big contract and we would flip Horton to them, it would allow us to allow them to put him on the long-term injury reserve and save that $5.3 million.
Yeah, I did not even understand how that works. I seen people talking about it. I don't understand it.
So, long-term injured reserve, when you put a player on it, their salary comes off the cap. But you're only allowed to put a player on the long-term injured reserve if you are up to that cap. So, like, if the Leafs are $8 million under the cap with the Horton salary, they can put them on long-term injured reserve because they still have $8 million available.
Okay.
So if they have Horton and they're up against the cap, it allows them at that point to move him to the long-term injured reserve to save that $5 million. So for a team like Chicago or like I don't know whoever's up against the cap,
Hmm.
we could take on one of their high salaries, trade them Horton, and allows them to put Horton on the long-term injured reserve to save up for a
Ah,
million.
okay,
Well,
that's interesting.
that's a long shot, but you never know.
Well, there is a game tonight, and Paul Hendricks just tweeted that the lineup is going to stay the exact same except for Reimer is starting, which is interesting. So none of the players who may be traded tomorrow are going to be scratches, which is kind of scary. Joffrey Lupul's out there. You don't want to hurt him, especially if there's a possible trade.
Well, you know, it, I didn't think Bernier was going to start back-to-back games anyways, but
Neither did I.
for them to start James Reimer and sit Bernier, even though he wouldn't start back-to-back games, still kind of, has that rumor lingering around there that maybe there's something up. I've also heard a couple rumors going around. Bozak, New York Rangers are interested.
Yep.
Well, whether they'll trade for him now after trading for Yandel, there's not many more assets to throw away there anymore. I don't think they gave away Duclair, John Moore, a first rounder next year, and I think a second rounder this year, which is a pretty high price in my opinion to trade for Keith Yandel. Keith Yandel's a top defenseman, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But he's minus 27 too.
Yeah, but that's because Arizona sucks.
he puts up the hell of a point. He puts up tons of points, but I don't know how you can get a minus 27, and I don't know. I just plus minus stat anyways to me isn't anything major.
Yeah.
I don't. It's just a number in my opinion. But
New York gave up a lot though.
That's what I'm saying. They gave up a lot. That was a high price to pay
for the next few seasons, and then it's going to fizzle out, right? I mean, if you look at, they haven't had a first-round draft pick in, I think I've seen like 5 years or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's too many. That's too many years. But that's Glenn Sather for you.
Yeah. Interesting guy. Interesting.
Definitely a curveballer. But I've also heard Washington Capitals may be looking at Joffrey Lupul.
Yep. Probably not now after the Glenn.
That's true as well. You never know. Though there's always opportunity and options. Glenn Cross is a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
Lupul is, he's getting older, but he's still got a lot of potential left. I think Lupul's a really solid player in my opinion. Yeah, he's really injury prone, but when he's healthy, he performs in my opinion.
Well, maybe Calgary will look at Lupul then. I mean, he's from Alberta. They have cap space. They have a empty slot now on left wing, and they are, I think, just like a point out of the playoff spot, somewhere around there. They're close. Who knows what they do?
You never know, but we'll
see. I have an idea. Unless you have something you have to say.
No, I was just gonna say we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Oh, okay. How about we just? I'll say a player, and then you'll tell me if you think they get traded on Monday. Just simple yes or no. We'll go through.
This is all Leafs players, or this is any player?
No, Leafs players.
Okay.
All right, Joffrey Lupul.
I'm gonna say yes. What about you?
I was gonna say yes too.
I get a feeling. I don't know why. I just get a feeling that somebody's gonna want that extra bang in their lineup and want to chip him out. However, I don't know if we're gonna get a lot for him, but we may have to retain some salary in that kind of a deal. But if we were able to ship him off and save ourselves another $2 or $3 million in cap space, what the heck?
Yeah. Where do you think he'll go? I mean, there's rumors of Montreal, Boston.
I've heard Montreal. I've heard Washington Capitals, who they play tonight in 15 minutes. I've also heard I heard Winnipeg a while back, but they traded for Yuri Tlusty, so I don't know if they'll still be interested in Lupul or not.
Yeah.
And you never know. Any player that Burke obtained while he was here, Brian Burke obtained while he was here in Toronto, he may still be interested in as a president in or general manager in Calgary.
Yeah, there'd be a reunion. And he also had Lupul in Anaheim, right? At some point.
True as well, yeah. Just before he came to Toronto, he had Lupul in Anaheim and then traded for him to bring him to Toronto.
Yeah, it could happen again. Who knows? All right. Next player, Tyler Bozak.
I'm gonna say no.
No.
Um,
Okay.
whether I mean I just get a feeling that he's not going to be. I mean, he's definitely the option to be traded, but I just don't think they're going to pull the trigger on a Bozak deal. Bozak's a really effective player. I know nobody believes that. Everybody
I
believes
don't
he's not. I don't believe he's a number one. I'll give you that. He's not a number one, but he's a solid face-off guy. He puts up the points, and maybe only because he's playing with Kessel. I don't know, but he puts up the points. You know, I I don't think he's going to get traded tomorrow, but in the off season, good possibility.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that is the issue, whether they go Monday or in the off season. I think Bozak will get traded. I think a team could use him, and his cap hit's a little bit less than Lupul's, so I think that makes the trade more appealing.
He's also a center though, and Lupul's not a center.
Yeah.
So I mean, if Bozak got traded to a team that needed a left wing or right wing, he's not. I don't think he's going to move to the left wing or right wing all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I agree with
That
you.
depends. I don't know who needs a center or not. Okay. All right. Next player, Olli Jokinen.
Yes, traded.
Definitely. I mean, there's no point.
It's not going to be for anything good. Maybe a bucket of pucks, and we still may have to retain half his salary in that kind of a deal, because the playoffs teams that are just looking for some extra help are not looking to take on a $2.5 million salary at this time.
I think it was reported, depending on if we retain salary or not, we'd get a low to mid-level draft pick.
Yeah,
which is fair. I mean, just a dump. Like,
I'd be happy with a 7th rounder. You know what I mean? Like, look at Datsuk and Zetterberg. They were both drafted in the end of the draft, and look at them. They're all stars.
Well, we don't have Detroit-type scouting, do we?
Well, no, but you could just take a flyer and just say, I'm going to take him, and then you never know what happens, right?
Yeah. Okay. David Booth.
No, I don't know if anybody would be interested in him. Unfortunately, like he's got speed. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I don't think there's a huge need for his type of player on a playoff team.
That's exactly what I wrote in my notes. Damian Cox said the most likely trades the Leafs make on Monday are going to be Olli Jokinen, Korbinian Holzer, and David Booth, which I can't see why a team would want David Booth for the playoff run. I mean, he only has 5 points in 39 games this season.
And I don't know how many.
His career's been declining. He doesn't have a bad cap hit, so I guess maybe
he's fast.
Pardon?
I said he's pretty fast on the ice, and he's pretty creative with his. He crashes the net a lot, but like I said, I don't think any team would pay a lot to get him.
I mean, if we could trade him for anything, I would. That's not that. But
I mean, he's a free agent at the end of the year anyway. So if somebody's wanting to pay a 7th rounder to pick him up, what the heck?
Yeah. All right. Who's next? Okay. Nazem Kadri.
This is I don't know. This is tough. As it's been reported before, Nazem Kadri, they said that he's part of the core that they want to build around, is what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
However, he is a desirable asset for many teams because of the way he's changed his game over the past year. So it's a toss-up for me. I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, I wrote down no as well.
I mean, not because I want to keep, like, I do want to keep him, but I mean, if the deal is there to trade him and get a lot for him, then I'm game for any trade.
Yeah,
but I just don't think that it's going to happen tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. I read somewhere in an article that a source believes that Nazem Kadri is the next deal the Leafs make.
I came across somebody reporting that yesterday. I don't remember who it was, but it was mentioned.
Yeah.
But I don't remember who it was. But you never know. I mean, like I said, it's a toss-up for me. I've already been surprised with Clarkson deal. You didn't expect that, so you never know what Shanahan's. You never know what Shanahan's up to.
Yeah. Although, I've been watching. Well, I mean, obviously, I've been watching the Leafs games, but Kadri's looked a lot better. I like the physicality he brings.
He's playing an all-around game.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of guys have been invisible over this stretch, and Kadri hasn't been as invisible, I guess.
He hasn't been putting up the points that he's normally used to putting up, but that's because he went through a transition to become that all-around player. He didn't want to be just a scorer. He wanted to have the defensive side. He wanted to be able to hit. He put on the pounds. He put on the
That's
beef.
good.
I'm enjoying his play much better now, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a couple years ago I was like, I was okay with trading him. I didn't care.
I mean, you got what, 150 pounds? What are you gonna do? There's not much you could do at 150 pounds.
And then, he's proved his worth, I guess, and it is always this paranoia that we trade him and he becomes like an all-star.
Well, there's that. To me, there's that paranoia with every player that leaves the Leafs.
Yeah,
it seems like every player that's left, not every player, but a lot of the players that have left to go elsewhere have become better, and any good player that we've obtained has become worse when they got to the Leafs.
Yeah.
with exception to a few players, but look at Bolin. Bolin got screwed up. Bolin was a bust for us. There's been many players that have been a bust for us. Enough.
Actually, that was the next player on the trade on my little list here.
I'd like to see him go.
Yes.
Not because I hate him, but I mean everybody hates him, but I don't hate him as a person. I hate him as a hockey player.
Do you think he goes on Monday though?
That's my question. That's my confusion. I don't think that anybody's going to want to pick up a big salary like him on a Monday. Oh, not on a Monday, but on a trade deadline day.
No, it's Monday.
Maybe a Saturday, not a Monday. No, I'm kidding. But not
he gets traded tonight. Yeah. I don't think he gets moved on Monday either. Although there have been reports of Detroit. But Bob Duff, who's a sports reporter here in Windsor, he said a trade to the Wings is unlikely. Just for laughs, I guess. Eklund says the trade is 50-50.
I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't.
But I was telling you this earlier today about the David Pagnotta. Mm-hmm. He tweeted that I think teams like Dallas and Anaheim are interested, and maybe Detroit is still in the mix.
But what would they give up to get him?
I have no clue. That's the issue.
Are we just going to trade for enough and just retain the $7 million? You know what I mean? I don't know.
But definitely want some sort of retainable contract.
It would be difficult to put together a decent package. I mean, you're just not going to get anything decent anyways, but a decent package on trade deadline day to trade him. I mean, who's your next player on the list?
Who's my next player on the list? Let's see here.
Phil Kessel.
Oh, it is Phil Kessel. Good guess.
Kessel, I'm going to say no. Does not get traded tomorrow. Only because, in my opinion, the only team that really needed that. Well, every team needs Kessel, in my opinion. But the only team that really needed him for the playoff push was Chicago, because they had lost Kane. But now that Chicago has picked up Vermette, I don't think that they would be a suitor for Kessel on trade deadline day. But I do see Kessel being traded in the offseason.
I see that too. Definitely not Monday, but in the offseason. Although I did, one of my Twitter followers again said he has a friend who is a very reliable source, somehow tied into the organization, and believes that Kessel will be moved for the Stahl brothers, maybe one of them, maybe both of them, in Carolina in some big blockbuster trade.
You never know.
I'm not sure what the heck that would be like, but there's just that. It's rumor, so.
Well, Ron Francis, the GM of Carolina, reported the other day that Jordan Stahl is not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. He's completely untouchable. He's not going anywhere, which I would assume his brother would be as well. But they're going through somewhat of a rebuild as well. So, it depends where they see these players fit in their future plans. You might see them move. I'd like to get in on an Eric Stahl deal. I definitely think he's definitely a solid player. But we don't know. We'll see what happens. Kessel, I think he gets traded off season.
Yeah. All right, James Reimer on Monday.
Yes.
He gets traded Monday?
I think one of the goalies get traded Monday.
Same here. I do too.
I'm not sure who.
I think it's Bernier. I just think it's Bernier. I have a feeling Dallas is probably itching for some good goaltending, and Bernier is a pretty good player.
What are we going to get out of them, though? What would you ask Dallas for?
I'd have to look into that before I make a decision, but
Would you want a combination of picks and prospects? Would you want a player that can play right away? Like, what would you say?
No, I'd go for picks and prospects. I don't think there's anyone on their roster that we need right now.
No, they definitely have some good players on their team right now, though. Like, would you want to pair Bernier with somebody else and try to steal Jamie Benn or somebody like that off their hands? You know, they do have a lot of solid players. They got
I don't know.
Jamie Benn.
That's true. Jamie Benn's awesome. We should have gone after him when he was having that whole contract dispute. But there's been a rumored deal that Phaneuf and Bernier could be packaged to Dallas, which I think in order to do that, they'd have to take some contract back, salary dump. They have some interesting contracts on Dallas. That's what I remember seeing. Sean Horkoff has like 1 year, like this is last year, and it's like $3 million or $4 million, something crazy like that. And then another older player, Eric Cole, has like $3 or $4 million for the rest of the season. So like you can make a trade work with them because you can take contracts back that are going to expire.
Yeah.
So I don't know though what'll happen.
Side note: I don't know if this is old news or new news, but New York Rangers extend Zuccarello.
They did.
4 years at $18 million. So that takes him off the trading block, and the rumor that I had heard was potential for Zuccarello, Bozak straight up, but obviously that's not going to happen anymore.
Wait, Paul Hendrick just tweeted Dion gone ? 23 seconds ago. Paul Hendrick tweeted Dion gone ? 23 seconds ago.
There we have it, folks. That is some big news.
So I don't
tweet that right
know
now.
if that's just a rumor. What's going on?
Dion, there it is right there. I see it. Paul Hendrick, Dion gone ? TML talk hashtag. Well, we're gonna look further into this.
Does that mean there's a trade pending right now, or?
I'm gonna stay on air here until we find out more information on this.
Yeah, let's do this.
Be the first to report it. Well, not the first to report it, but I want to be part of it.
We are live. Like we are live right now. If someone is watching this, which there probably isn't.
We have we have one viewer. One viewer.
Do we? Is it me?
Yeah. Maybe. Are you watching it on the side?
No. But Leafs Be With You reports Dion Phaneuf trade.
I am just trying to find some more information.
How funny though if Paul Hendrick trolled everyone. That'd be hilarious.
It would be very funny, but he's not the type of person to do that. I know that.
No, he's not. Very, very nice guy. I met him at FanFest. One of the few people I got to talk to.
I've seen him. I met him a couple times at the Maple Leafs practice down at the MasterCard Center, and he's usually there just covering the stories.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy, and he seems to know his. He's well connected with the team, so like most of his tweets.
He doesn't report BS either.
No, that's what I mean. So like whatever he tweets, you can definitely trust. And
all right, well, keeping in the theme of Leafs D-men, Roman Polak.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yes.
I don't want to see him go because I love Polak. He's very consistent. He's tough. He's fast for 240 pounds. He can skate like the wind. But I think that a team would pick him up for the playoff push for sure. But I'd like to hang on to him. But
I think he'd be a good leadership presence too for the younger guys.
We have just FYI that tweet by Paul Hendrick was a fake account.
Fake account. Sorry. Oh, Paul Hendrick got his source from a fake account.
I guess Paul Hendrick has a fake account, and we just didn't catch that, folks. Sorry to get your
No,
whole.
no. That's not even what it is. His real account tweeted Dion gone, but I think he got his source from a fake account.
Oh.
Because I don't follow. I follow actual Henny tweets.
Yeah, I just saw that. That is the account that it came from.
Yeah, he made a mistake somehow. All right.
Okay, well, that's a false alarm then. Phaneuf is not gone. I guess he's just practicing on the ice with the team, warming up right now. I'm not sure who's watching, but.
Oh, we were talking about Roman Polak. Sorry.
Yes. Sorry.
Reports from earlier today said that the Leafs won't trade him.
I'd like to extend him and keep him for a while. Yeah. But I think that a team would overpay for his services because he's that consistent. So I really do think that he may get traded tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, if they're willing to pay high, you might as well. No point to keeping him. All right, what about Jake Gardiner?
Another one of those core players that was reported by the Leafs that they want to build around. I don't know why. Maybe because they just signed him to a huge contract and they don't want to look like idiots now. But I'm going to say he does not get traded tomorrow. However, I would like to see him traded because I think that we could get something for him, especially now if we trade him now before he gets worse.
I agree with you.
I don't want to. I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade here or be detrimental to any player, but I just don't think he's as good as everybody makes him seem.
Mm-hmm. All right, Corbinian Holzer.
You had mentioned before that you thought that he's gonna be traded, but I don't think so. There'll be some teams maybe that would pay a little bit more for him because he's again a solid, tall, long-reach defenseman, stay-at-home guy. But I like to keep him because I like German people. German players are always fun. They're fun to watch.
His name is cool too.
And he's got a cool name. But again, I don't. He may get traded tomorrow, but I hope not.
Well, I mean, I think he'd go for more than a fourth-round pick. He was a fourth-round pick originally. I mean, as long as you get higher than that, I'm okay with the trade. I mean, it's all about a rebuild. I don't know. He is 27 years old, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's not too old.
No.
But it's up there in age, obviously.
I mean, like, he would have hit his prime by now.
Yeah, but as a fourth-round pick, and now he's playing at the Leafs in the third pairing, or even I don't even know. He plays all around the lineup, but I don't even know Horacek's pairings anymore because he switches them up every game.
Yeah.
But
and the Leafs have been so bad, it's tough to see how players fit into the future plans.
But Holzer's a solid player.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope he doesn't get traded, but he may tomorrow. We'll find out.
Terry Caution of the Toronto Sun just tweeted that the Leafs management is currently in Toronto on trade watch, and the director of hockey and scouting, Reed Mitchell, is the only representative Leafs management in Washington right now. So it's good to see everyone else is busy. Nonis, Shanny.
Well, if Burke was still our general manager, he'd be out fishing tomorrow. That's what happened. What was that? That might have been free agent day. I think that was free agent day.
Yeah.
But still, have a general manager just appear for the day. This doesn't make sense. But that's good to see Shanahan and Nonis are going to be active. There's been some tweets and some reports out there that the Leafs are going to be one of the most active teams tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, what does that mean?
Most trades, I guess.
You can say, I'm going to be the most active, but does that mean you're going to be the most active calling teams just to ask about players, or are you going to actually pull triggers? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Other than that, though, most active, if no one else is active and we make 2 trades, then technically we're the most active.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Could be a boring day.
could very well be because we've had a lot of movement going up to a lot of the big names that were supposed to be moved have already been moved. So,
Oh, we were
now,
talking about Kadri. I had another note here.
yeah,
Is that I don't see how you could trade him unless you're getting a top six center from somewhere else. Like you don't just move a top six center, especially
yeah,
when we have no our center. We're so weak at that position.
that's true as well. I mean, it would have to be. I mean, we always have players that could step in. Um, if they don't get traded, but we have Holland who's a center, Olli
Mm.
Jokinen who's a center, Bozak's a center. We did trade. We still
Yeah,
have.
but I mean, if we're rebuilding going forward,
Yeah, no, I agree. You don't just trade him unless you're getting something that can cover that spot back.
yeah. All right, Brady, who would you like to keep going forward?
My list consists of very few players. First one, number one, Morgan Riley, 100% down. Should be a core player. Number two, in my opinion, is JVR. Yeah, he hasn't been performing well lately, but he is still a very solid player, and he shows that he can be solid on the power play, on the penalty kill. My other core, I'm going to say Nazem Kadri. I'd still like it to be a part of that rebuild. And what's his name? I still like to be Roman Polak. Sorry.
Yeah.
Roman Polak should also be a part of it. So those are my only four guys, really. I mean, I'd like to keep as many guys as I could, but obviously the team's not connecting. So whoever we can trade. But those guys that I just listed off should be definitely a part of the rebuild.
And for me, with that being said, I would definitely never trade Morgan Riley. Everyone else is open for trade, but this is who I would keep. I'd keep Riley, Polak, Robidas, only because he probably can't be traded. And I mean, I guess he has to stick around either way. Reimer, just because we need a goalie. JVR, Panic, Holland, maybe Phil Kessel, depending on what we possibly could get for him.
I missed Holland. I meant to say Holland. Holland was another one of my key.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's been given a fair chance yet, and I'd like to see him get some more minutes.
Yeah, and then maybe the case after tomorrow. You may be your first line center. You don't know, depending on what happens with Bozak or Kadri.
Yeah. How about tonight's game, which probably started maybe?
I don't even know. They said 7 p.m., but they usually start quarter after that.
Yeah.
Well, it says Leafs Capitals underway, so they are underway. They got 20 minutes. Well, it says 20 minutes left in the first, so it must have just started.
Okay. All right. Question for tonight's game?
Yes.
Who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to say Washington. Unfortunately, I don't like to say that. I don't think I've ever said that a team is going to beat Toronto, but for the sake of tanking and for the sake of getting
rationality, I think it's going to be a big win. All right, Ovi. Let's go for how many points do you think Ovi will score? Over or under 2.5?
Under.
Under?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to say over just to be a dick. I think the Leafs are going to get blown out. Maybe 5-6-1.
It'll be something like that.
Not that I'm hoping for that. I think that's what's going to happen.
Well, with that being said, should we let all our viewers, all of three of them, get to their Leaf game, and I guess we'll sign off.
Yeah, we'll watch it. Actually, but I will tell everyone to go look this up. Go on TSN 1050. Check out Mako and Kaz from February 26th, hour 1. Watch the clip from 10:59 to 11:50. You will not be disappointed. It's a used car salesman ad with the Leafs flair, I guess, to it.
We will try to find some footage of that or sound of that to put on our website or our Twitter. So look out for that soon.
Awesome.
going forward, Least Be With You website will be updated regularly. Just wanted to tell everybody about our relaunch, and that we're really excited. Robert and I are going to be going forward together, blogging and reporting on all kinds of Leafs rumors. We will be active tomorrow, so keep a lookout on our Twitter, and we may also jump on the live broadcast here again tomorrow to report on any trades. So look out for us. We'll sign off from there. I'm Brady Collins.
And I'm Rob DeRose.
And Leafs be with you. And we'll see you guys soon. Take care.